Hi there, it's Emma from Emma's Card and Paper Crafts. Today I'm bringing you this cute little box. So these boxes are not Stampin' Up boxes. I found them on Amazon. They are called cookie boxes, I think they were called. So what I've done is made a little box of chocolate snowmen. I've stuck them down with some glue dots just so they don't slide around. This piece of DSP in the back is a tiny bit small, but it's the remnants of the offcut of making the band, so you can see there's the paw prints on the inside there. I just thought it was a nice way to use up the last little scrap so it doesn't get wasted, and also make the bottom of the box a little bit more sturdy as they're fold together boxes. So this is what I'm going to be making for you for today. This is kind of a last minute video. I'm filming this Monday night and it's coming to you on Tuesday, so please bear with me. I only made this one as an idea last night just to see where my thought process was going, so I'm not really planned and prepped much to do this one, but it's really quite simple. So first things first, I'm going to need a paper trimmer. The DSP I've used is the Snowflakes from the Beary Cute. Let me measure my box again. So the boxes I've got are 10 centimeters by 7.5. So I'm going to make the band around the middle around 8 centimeters wide. So that works out maybe just under 3¼ inches. But it's just because I want the nice even amount each side, so a centimetre each side. So we're going to cut that at 8 centimetres. So you're going to need a whole 12-inch strip of this. So if you cut that up at the 8 centimetre mark, and then we're going to cut off 3 inches of this. So let me just cut off the 3-inch piece here. So that is going to be the inside piece that's going to go in the bottom of the box. To fit in there, and this bit will be our wrap around the outside. So I'm going to do the snowflake side. We're also going to cut out, so I used the Christmas tree one last time, I think either this one or this one, or maybe I want to do a different one. Maybe let's go with the polar bear with the presents on, but I think I'm going to take him from this side so I don't have to cut straight through the middle of the sheet. Now let's find some scissors, because it appears my rugrats have run off with them. I normally have about 50 million pairs of scissors up here, but they're all gone. So please bear with me 1 second. Right, so after a quick pause there, ran and found the scissors. The children took them downstairs to cut out Halloween snowflakes to go in the windows. I say snowflakes, you know, where you cut the pieces of paper into like snowflakes normally. Well, they wanted to make pumpkin ones, so they've kind of cut a circle and then cut slits in it to make like a jack-o'-lantern kind of snowflakes to go on the window. They know what they wanted to do anyway, so we're going to fussy cut this one out, which this is going to be the fun part of this. Let's move my trimmer out of the way because otherwise it's going to annoy me. So I'm going to leave a tiny little edge around this just because I'm not the best at fussy cutting. And you may also get glimpses of my head in this because I like to work with it quite close so I can see what I'm doing. And also the best tip I can give you for fussy cutting is always move the paper rather than the scissors. It tends to work a bit better for me. And also don't keep too much of what I call a tail hanging on at once. So I'm not gonna be too fussy around the bow. Just give it a nice little edge. So I do need to get some new scissors because these aren't the sharpest anymore, but I did also think about trying to sharpen them, but I'm not sure how that will go. So we're halfway there already. I don't want his nose to be too pointy though, so let's have that little corner off. And I think I have a child coming. Luckily she's going the opposite direction to her room. The children are just downstairs eating dinner. That's how last minute I've left this one. I do wish there was more dies to this paper. I love the paper where you get matching dies that cut out all of the separate little images, but unfortunately this one just has a punch that goes with it. But again, I'm a lover of punches, so it does, the suite does come with a polar bear punch. I think it's just a plain walking polar bear, sort of like that, rather than a anything special going on with him. And I haven't actually used the punch yet, so keep a lookout for more very cute Christmas projects. I do love this suite. Alright, so there we go, there's our fussy cut polar bear. Scraps can go to the side. Before we assemble, we need to get a scrap of white cardstock, which I think I have some floating around here. Yeah, there's a little scrap here. Oh, actually I've got an even smaller scrap. That's a perfect scrap. So we're going to stamp the For You on here, but first I'm going to punch the tag end, because otherwise I end up stamping too far away or too close to the ticket edge bit. So I like to turn it upside down and straighten it up to make sure I've got it, or squidge it around so I know that I've got it completely straight, so it's like got an even amount here and an even amount here, and then it just moved. Right, so pinch it tight and then turn it over to punch. And then I'm going to stamp the For You on here. So the For You is from the Snowflakes set, which is called Sparkling Snowflakes. And I'm going to stamp this in Light of Navy because it matches the paper. There we go. It's quite a juicy pad, so sometimes it's bubbly. So, right. I can still see a bit that hasn't picked up ink. There we go. There we go. And then before I cut this off, I'm going to see how it's going to sit on my wrap. So before I cut it shorter, we will wrap it around the box. I need to find another box actually, because I only kept one out when I was making my prototype and filed the others away in a drawer. So when you get the boxes, they come like this, and it took me a few attempts to figure out how you assemble them. So you need to put the side flaps down first, and then no, let me double check this. Put the bottom flap down first, then the side flaps, and tuck them under. And then you have to very carefully tuck this under here. It does go in, but it's a bit of, there we go, like so. So that makes your bottom nice and sturdy, but then on the inside you've got a little mess inside. So that's why I thought the DSP on the inside would be good to just cover up the inside a little bit. So I'm going to put it up this way. I think it does fit that way, doesn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to use a little bit of double-sided tape here, and I kept it out and I've put it somewhere in front of me, beside me. So this isn't anything special, this is just some double-sided tape that I have lying around. So I'm going to peel that off there. Which way up is it supposed to go? I feel like, oh no, I've just dropped the sheet of paper. They all kind of go different directions. Don't they? I don't think it really matters which way up it's going to go, but we're going to do it this way. So if you kind of try and eyeball it and put it in kind of central and give it a good stick down to make sure it's stuck to all of those layers, so that also reinforces your bottom a little bit. We're now going to get my little snowman. So these are Aldi specials. I think they're only about like £1 for a box of, I don't know, 24 of them, I think. So 2 gold ones, 2 purple ones, and 2 green ones. So yeah, it must be about 24 in there, I think. 25 in a box. So I think they're £1.79, maybe £2 tops for a box. Not very expensive. And they also do Santas and penguins, I think it was. But I just like the look of the snowman. So on the back of each of these, I'm going to be putting a sticky dot. Now this is the tricky bit, because putting a sticky dot on the back, you don't want to unwrap them as you're peeling the paper off. So my sticky dots are on a roll. And they are super sticky. One more. There we go. So okay. Start in the middle, I think. So gold one in the middle. And purple one this side. Just make sure the glue dot is stuck down properly. There we go. Green one over this side, and then we're gonna shuffle them about a bit. So I don't like having the same 2 colours next to each other. They have silly OCD tendencies like that. So green there. Come and peel. There we go. Purple over here. And gold over here. So we're going to close it up. It's quite thick card, so very sturdy boxes, like that. And then we're going to take our cardstock wrap, and initially I'm just going to fold a tiny ledge over there. So this is all done by eye, so there's no real measurements to this as such. And then fold it down like this. Maybe I should have made that a little bit bigger that side, but never mind. So we're going to slide that off, flip it round so that that bit's hidden underneath. And I'm going to put it so the smaller edge is tucked under. So So you don't want to pull this too tight around your box, because otherwise you won't be able to slide it on and off. So you do want some wiggle room. But then I'm going to put a tiny line of glue along here and just hold it for a second. But I always put my seam on the underneath or at the back, so it's not so visible. So, okay, just going to hold that down for a second or two. Try and line up the edges to make sure it's straight as well. I'm just going to hold that down for a second or two. Kind of give these edges a pinch as well, just to give it a bit more defined around the edges. Okay, I'm going to leave it up that way so it's got the weight on it for a minute. So our polar bear's going to go like this. I like when it comes off the side a little bit. So we're going to cut it off so that it stops underneath this present here. So about here we're going to chop it off. Like that. Let's find some dimensionals. I also had those right in front of me just a second ago. I hid them under my punch. Right, because this is just DSP rather than cardstock, I am going to put quite a few dimensionals under him, but remembering to leave them off the back leg and the bum, because that bit hangs over the edge of the wrap. There we go. That should be enough dimensionals for him. So we're going to stick him on first, and then we'll slide the actually no, we're going to have to stick the other bit down because it's going to be up on top of it slightly. Let's see if I can just, yeah, that's not stuck down too well at the moment. Let's just squidge that one along a bit so this bit sits flat underneath the underneath his presents. So yeah, that looks about right for me. So again, this side I've left it so it's hanging over just a smidge. Don't know why, I just like the way it looks. So it's up to you. You do it however you like it. And then we're going to pop him on here, like so. And might even put a little bit of sparkle on it. Let's see what I've got in my sparkly drawer. I've got some pearls here. Let's stick a couple of pearls on each of them, I think. So let's get a pokey tool. I always manage to make these ping everywhere whether I use a pokey tool or not. So and then use a couple of little ones, I think. It's running away from me. There we go. And just 3. And then on my original one I'm going to put some sparkles on too. Let's put it in the middle of the snowflake just because my brain likes that. And one here. And one here. So there's today's quick little project. And you can see it just made it loose enough so it slides on and off. So this one I made a little bit looser. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed today's project. I hope you will come back and watch next week's project as well. It will most likely be something Christmassy, as I'm well into my Christmas projects now, trying to catch up with Christmas cards and Christmas gifts and little teacher gifts and things. So I will see you again next week. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.